Welcome everybody to Sonderling Inc. Episode 15. New name for the campaign. I have some players. Who is directly below me right now?
That would be Xurter playing Gruntos, the Kobold Ranger.
And I'm Intertude, playing Holger Wolfshift, a human rogue.
I am Holocrawl playing Holocrawl, a human fighter.
Horgold, why don't you give the recap from last time?
Well, there was a dead body found in the city. We investigated, and we found that it came falling from the sky. So, Holocrawl got, with his help of his little staff, a view of a spaceship or a flying ship, and yeah, we bought some carpets and got up there. Or we rented some carpets, and yeah, they were all dead. So with some luck and some tinkering of Gruntos, we got the ship down in the harbor, and we were returning the flying carpet.
All right. So, what you guys gonna do? After you guys have successfully returned the carpet, you have given your group's name to the carpet seller, or magical item shop for a discount. What are you guys gonna do?
I was going to start some investigations last time, but I actually can't remember what.
Okay.
I think we wanted to check. We have the encrypted or shorthand log. Or do we
Yeah.
not?
The captain's log.
Ah, right.
That's it.
All right. Yeah, none of you speak ship. So you're not super familiar with you don't know how to interpret the captain's log. Although you have a doc.
Yep. I'm probably heading towards the ship that would seem most likely to be annoyed at the kobold coming aboard or trying to come aboard.
All right. So you approach a elven vessel. It's probably twice the length and breadth of the ship that you guys have. It looks like it's been in dock for, you're not sure how long. It's tied up. There's no real, people aren't actively loading, unloading. People aren't actively loading, uploading. There's a bunch of elves on board. And how do we do that? Hold on. I'm gonna need a name generator. There we go. No. Anyway. And as you approach the gangway, the gangplank, elf at the top of the says, "Halt! Who are you?"
I'm Gruntos. Is the captain on the ship?
Yes. What's your business?
I'm wondering if you can try to help me understand the book.
Help you understand I mean, maybe. What kind of book?
It's a very particular kind of book.
You're being very inspecific.
I would like to see the captain, please.
He chuckles at that. And who may I say is calling?
Grunthos of the Sonderling Incorporated.
Has he heard of you guys? I mean, obviously he watched the ship roll in. He has not heard of you. He says, give me a minute. He heads toward the, like, he was up on the quarterdeck. He heads down the stairs of the quarterdeck and around into the main cabin doors that are underneath the roof of the quarterdeck. As you're watching, give me a quick perception check, actually.
Oh. All the good rolls are taking its toll.
There we go. That's a good name. Actually, these are all fine names, but that's a good one. He hold on. Sorry, I'm doing about 18 different things.
Isn't it fun to be a DM?
Oh yeah. There we go. You guys are both staying with him. He comes out. The person comes out and says, "Captain is willing to see you. Come on board."
Yeah, I trundle up.
All right. So you guys come on the deck. This is a well-appointed ship. There's probably 20 hands doing various tasks on the deck of the ship. They're like got a couple guys that are braiding ropes. Several of them are like scrubbing the deck. They've got a board with a cloth, and they're actually running up and down the deck. You've got probably a couple guys up in the sails, patching, or not patching sails, but like redoing sails and lashing down, and various. It just looks busy. You're unsure if this level of busy is normal or this level of busy is just being they're being told to keep the crew busy. Has the captain? Ooh. As you guys head in, the person who was standing up on the top, like opens wide. There's a big set of double doors. Opens wide one of the doors, and bows graciously at you, tipping his hat, and says, "Captain Lazaro, we'll see you now." And you walk in. Inside of here is a pretty good sized dining room. Or you're not exactly sure. It's appointed as a dining room. There's chairs around a central table. L-A, the A's got a little thingy over it. Z-A-R-O, Lazaro. There's a boy, my brain just reset. Elf, tall for an elf, probably shorter than everybody except for Grunthos. Standing in the back, he is got probably a fine suit of some sort on. Pointy ears, looks like an elf, as you do. He looks at you guys and goes, "So, what can I do for the fine gentleman of Sonderling?"
We're investigating the ship. I'm not sure if you saw us come in.
I heard.
We found a log where we're not sure how these things work, so we're hoping we could ask for some help in trying to figure it out.
All right. Uh,
And
he
I show him the captain's log.
okay. He takes it from you. Opens it up. He's like, "Are you interested in any specific time frame?" Or he kind of flips through a few pages, or you know, what do you want to know, or just how to read it is, I guess.
How to read it would, if it doesn't take too much time to teach us how to read it, that would help.
All right.
Or specifically the last month or and a half or so.
He's like, okay, so he goes down. There's a series of numbers. And he's like, okay, so the set of numbers here. So each day is like an entry, and it's like the set of numbers here is heading, speed. It's like, okay, so heading, speed, and then there's a little like section underneath each one of those that is like events or anything of import. So it's like day, heading, speed, notes, so on and so forth. He's like, this is probably written by a human. He kind of gives you guys a questioning look.
Possibly.
Okay, so probably human. So they use the human notation, and he goes in to explain what that means and why it's inferior to Elvish notation inside of a ship's log. And it takes them this much extra to do what they want to do, and Elvish notation is so much superior. And goes on for a little bit about this. He's like, there's nothing too critical. I mean, so I don't see any entries. You do not like elves. So I don't see any entries for the last month. There's nothing in here. Prior to that, so human notation. He actually goes. He actually goes and looks, and he pulls out a device from his like rack. He's got a shelving unit beside his like off to one side. And I guess you guys can roll Arcana. It looks magical. That's probably good enough. I don't even know why I asked you to roll.
+5 perception, I get 9. -1 Arcana, and I get
19.
20.
Yeah, 19. So it looks like some sort of calculation device, or you've never seen one configured quite like this, but he sets it down on the table, and he's like obviously doing something with numbers with it. And he's like, well, they were making really good time. I'm not. So, okay. He flips back a few pages. They left from this. They left Kartuk heading in. He kind of does a mental picture. I have a map. It won't be easier with the map because they headed overland right? Okay. So they headed overland from Kartuk. They made pretty good time, probably 8 to 10 knots, which is that's pretty good. They weren't sailing with the wind because their course doesn't adjust enough from the looks of things from day to day. They headed okay, so they headed to Convergence. That's fine. and he looks a little confused. Yeah, he looks a little confused, but he's accepting this. He's like, well, I guess they don't have a reason to lie to me because they're learning how to read it. He's like, well, they headed to Convergence, yep, and they... Oh, okay. No, that doesn't make any sense either. Something about... Okay, so here, he points at the map, or he points at the logbook. He's flipped back to, like, the third entry. He's like, okay, so this is where the journey starts, and this is how you tell when a journey starts. And he explains that to you.
Okay.
And he's like, so, and this is when the thing started, right? And then they made good time from this, from Kartuk to Kirsch, or not Kirsch, from Kartuk to Convergence. He kind of reads along. It's like altitude adjustments much more smoothly now that we've taken in the slop in the third lowest lever. I don't know what that means. Just I'm gonna accept it. If you can explain what this is, you can tell me anytime. And
I'm not privy to share that information just yet, but if you're sticking around, you might get to experience it yourself.
That sounds okay. So he kind of sits down next to the book, and he's like following along with it, and he's at this point he's stopped explaining how to read the thing and is just kind of reading it out loud to you. He reads out the first probably week worth of, like, it took about a week to get from... Let's actually bring up the world map. I need some sense of scale as well. Aha! Let's move the players there. Whoop. So he's like, well, it took probably 2 weeks. From Kartuk to Convergence, they made pretty good time as the crows fly, I guess. They didn't really, 8 or 9 knots. This would be... He kind of looks at you guys. It's like, this would be about a 3 or 4 month by boat travel usually. And he kind of points back at a map he's got on the back wall, which shows oceans and major waterways. And he kind of traces, so you have to go down the river out this way and come up to this part and then flow up this river. And unless you have good wind, it's very hard to go upriver. The ship is small enough. It could have done that probably, but it's not the best sort of vessel for that. Anyway, he's like, so they made good time. And about 4 days out of Convergence. So they stopped at Convergence. They landed. They had some people looking over the ship, I think. Something about people looking over the ship right here. And he points at the entry. Usually that's only like when you owe money on your ship and somebody wants to make sure that their investment is still going good or still in good repair. That's not important right now. They picked up some passengers. They got permission and picked up some passengers in Convergence. They were paid more than they thought to charge. They were paid better than they would have normally charged for this, but because, initial flight. Yeah, no, it says initial flight right there. So flying ship, good to know. This makes more sense now. Anyway, they picked up some passengers in Convergence, and then they weren't sure they could go directly over the mountains. So he's like, I don't have a map. Geography for those who are curious, you guys would know, at least generally, there's a mountain range between the Orklands, which is this area out here, and the Kartuk, the country kingdom of Kartuk. Not really a kingdom, empire. There we go. That's the right word. Empire of Kartuk. So they kind of changed flight direction and flew up over the Highland Narrows Pass. He's like, I don't have a map of that because ocean ship, but you guys might have a map of that on your ship. Did you find this on a ship, or did you?
Yes, we did.
Okay, that's good. That makes more sense. Either way, they took him a couple days to get, probably 3 days to get to the Highland Narrows Pass. Again, very direct flight. They obviously weren't using wind. Obviously, they don't need to worry about the wind anymore. And then there's something about a disagreement and having to close the lower four cargo hold. And then 2 days later, the entries stop. And that was, let's see. The last entry was they were headed, generally, from what I think I understand of the way the world is laid out, generally toward Orkland. But the entries have stopped, and it was the 20th of Citrine was the last entry.
And we're in Diamond now.
You are currently the 2nd of Opal, I believe.
Okay.
Which is, so Citrine, Diamond, Opal.
Yeah. I've got the Gods page open, which has all the months.
Sure.
Oh god.
It's like that's the last entry. Give me an intelligence check, everybody. 14, 22. Horgold, you're pretty sure with what he walked you through that you can fully read this, at least this specific logbook now, pretty much any entry, and you probably have a really good chance of interpreting at least human logbooks. You're not sure about other cultures, but
What's the device you used? What do you use that for?
he's like, it helps you calculate like flight directions, latitude and longitude, and you can use it to dead reckon much more accurately. Like if you want to know where you are in the world, you can use this device based on your speed and direction and current like longitude and latitude, which you get from the stars. It helps you dead reckon. It's really useful if you have to worry about like it may be the 1st of Opal. It like where you are in the world.
Do I have seen such a device on the other ship?
You did not.
What's the name of the device and where can we buy it, please, Captain?
It's a reckoner. He kind of says it with you can tell that there's an apostrophe in the middle of it. You could probably get a wizard to make one for you. I didn't spell that quite right, but don't let the person you're buying from know that you call it that. It is, by all account, or by the official name is a oh shoot, how do I want to put this? It is a global positioning calculator. We just call it a reckoner. He's like they're
very much.
relatively new, but no, somebody should be able to craft one up for you if you ask. It's like so. Anything else I can help you gentlemen with?
We would keep this information between us, if you don't mind. And I hand him some money.
He nods at you, and you, when your hand pulls away, you find that the coins you were going to hand him remain. It's like, yes, I will keep your secrets. Although you seem to have a fascinating vessel, I would ask for a flight sometime. Apparently,
Could be arranged. There are some investigations to be had before that could happen, though.
he nods.
And in a polite as manner as I can, I slam the log shut,
Thump.
and just grab it under my arm.
All right.
And just bow and start walking out.
All right. He bows back at you, and he goes, and it looks like he opens up his own logbook as you guys are leaving the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place to record interesting things.
Yep. And it's for the captain's eyes only.
Right.
Or whoever finds this derelict ship.
Right. All right, so you guys head off. You're probably, if you were looking specifically for an elven ship, which it sounded like you probably were, you're probably 2 docks over, and so you have to head back up to back up to the land and over your docks, and then back down if you want to head back to the ship. Otherwise, where are you guys headed?
We should seek out some kind of advocate in law to get more information about salvaging laws.
We need to find out where we registered the ship as ours.
And we need that GPC.
All right. You guys head back to the mainland, or you head back to the land. As you head, it's probably early afternoon at this point. As you head out, as you guys head up and look down at the ship that you purloined, you see the 2 guards that you positioned on to guard the ship, arguing with a orc, and next to the orc is standing a human.
Should we check that out?
Yeah, we want to get the bodies off the ship anyway, so maybe seek some legal or town help with that to make sure that they not accuse us for killing him. So maybe the guards that sent us on the mission, or...
Okay.
I'm going to head towards not the nearest guard office, but the guard office.
Go back to
the closest guard office that has a high-ranking officer.
There's gonna be one on the dock, just because it's not a good idea to be too far away from a commander this close to this many sailors. So yeah, there's absolutely a guard office on the dock, with probably a captain, I would think, and it's daytime, so he would be around. As you head into or you go into the guard office, the sergeant at the desk kind of looks down. He looks at the two, or are all three of you going? Let me guess. Let me go that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, he looks at Horgold and Hollock Hall and completely ignores Grunthos and says, "Yeah, how can I help you?"
Well, one of your fellow guards sent us on a mission to investigate the dead body that was found in the city.
Right. And what did you learn?
Well, apparently it was already dead before it fell off a flying ship. So
Pull the other
we
one.
still...
It's got bells on.
Sorry?
They said pull the other one. It's got bells on. Flying ship.
Okay, you don't have to believe it, but we got the ship in the docks. Sadly, when we arrived at the ship, everybody was already deceased, like a couple of weeks ago. We're still investigating what happened to them, but we might want to have the bodies off the ship and maybe inspected by a medical team or whatever you want to do with the bodies to make sure that you guys are happy how they died. We don't think it's a plague or something like that.
Oh,
We're
that's
still going to investigate.
That's good. So you have some dead bodies on the dock. Good to know. You don't think it's a plague. This begs many questions about why you aren't in quarantine. But he's like, okay, so we will summon a priest of... Oh shoot. Names. Summon a priest of Basimal. Basima, sorry. Summon a priest of Basima, who should be here shortly to investigate. And I'll send a couple of guards with you to help secure the ship.
We already have the two of you guards standing post at the ship for this point.
That explains.
But you do know. Yeah, we do know that rumors can spread really fast about a ghost ship with dead bodies and stuff like that. So maybe you want to keep this really quiet in town. Otherwise, all kinds of rumors and panic will start to spread out.
Yeah. Also flying ships. So let's
let's
go. And the sergeant's like gets up from his desk and he summons over probably a corporal.
Thump.
Thump. He as he stands up, he notices the kobold for the first time. He looks down in surprise at you. Anyway, he's like, Corporal, yeah, come on. And he puts a thing on his desk saying, out, be back soon, sort of thing. And he's like, all right, lead the way.
I guess we just walk to the ship.
All right. You guys get back to the ship with your corporal and sergeant in tow. The guy is still arguing with the two guards you left on the ship. He's like, I don't care what the people who brought it in say. This is my ship. I demand to be let aboard. And no, sir. Ship was brought here this morning. This morning. So it would be the first. Ship was brought here this morning. And the slip has been paid for. If you have an argument about the ownership of the ship, you should talk to the people who, hey, there they are right there. And they point as you guys walk up behind them. So.
And what's the argument about? Just looking, kind of furrowed eyebrows as much as Kobold can do that towards the man arguing with the guards, and just the quizzical eyes towards the guards.
He's like, "This is my ship. I demand to see its state."
Can you prove that?
He's like, "Yes." And he reaches into his, or he motions to the human standing next to him, who reaches into basically a briefcase, and brings out a set of paperwork. Inside of it, you see a flyer, or the paperwork he hands you is a flyer, talking about the arrival of the the name of the ship. Arrival of the
Bright Sail.
Yeah, the Bright Sail will bring a new era to ship travel faster directly to doesn't require the wind to thing. And then he also so that's the flyer he hands you, and then underneath it is a scroll with like a title and a seal on it, Bright Vessel owned by, and it like lists a series of like names, like an orc name and a couple human names, and with the companies of, and then like 4 different companies listed underneath it. And it's got like an official seal of the Kingdom of Kartuk, and it is. Give me an Arcana check. See if you notice. Nope. None of you notice. All right. Anyway, it's got a seal of the Kingdom of Kartuk on it, and then there's a list of names, written like name, signature. It's got a list of like for X amount of, it's like name, signature, and then a monetary value underneath it. Name, signature, monetary value, company, monetary value, company, monetary value. He's like,
so by skimming the monetary values,
yep.
How much approximately are we talking about? Is it in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands?
The numbers make your eyes water. We're talking around 100,000 brass. Knowledge nautical, knowledge sailing. I guess none of you are sailors, so none of you really would have that. You don't know how much a normal ship would cost.
No, I'm just, as I'm not the best with numbers, but I can see a lot of big numbers, a lot of very big numbers.
A lot of very big numbers.
Yeah.
He's like, and I demand to be led upon my ship.
Well, and I point out to the captain as well and the sergeant. Well, at this point, the ship is under investigation, and we still need it to further our investigation.
Investigation
point,
for what?
That is none of your business at this point.
He looks like he's gonna go into another tirade, and the person at his side kind of touches his shoulder and whispers something in his ear. Perception would get you what he's whispering. Ooh, Hollick. the person whispers, "You're making yourself look the fool. Come back later tonight." And the orc kind of tugs. You've seen this in a couple of orcs. Kind of tugs on his teeth, on the fangs that they all have. Kind of tugs on his fangs a little bit and says, "Very well, I will leave it for now. Investigate your murders." And he walks off in a huff.
Sorry, sir, but we didn't tell anything about murders.
Shh.
Captain, maybe you
Finish.
want to keep this
Sorry.
person under surveillance.
I was going to say that to the captain after the guy was out of earshot.
So, the guy raises an eyebrow and nods at the corporal. Yay! Satet is joining us. He raises an eyebrow and nods at the corporal, who kind of trundles off after them. And then he looks at you guys and is like, "All right, let's see the bodies."
Yeah,
I whisper to Horgold what I heard, and to Grantos.
Yeah, it's best to leave today then, because maybe they want to seize the ship in another.
That puts the timeline on our plans, but I think we can still do it.
If anything goes awry, we can park it up.
I mean,
Park it on the roof of the snorting boar.
you're not wrong.
Better disable your alarm? Question mark.
No, it doesn't matter. Only I hear it. Oh no, it is a bell as well.
Yep, there's bells. Well.
I'll disable.
All right.
Yeah,
so
I'll dismiss.
you disable the alarm and head on board. Also, yay! Satet has joined us. So, Satet is playing a new character. We should do a little bit of connections, and then we should try to figure out a reasonable time to bring the character in. Can you speak, Satet, or are you still?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? All right,
Yep.
I'm literally on the road on cell coverage, and I'm going to be going through a spotty area for a few minutes, but then I'll be clear. So for now, we're good.
All right.
But if I fade out, I'm sorry. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
All good.
Okay. First questions first. If you're driving, I think we'll wait until you're not. If you're,
No, I'm passenger seat.
okay, good. I have to figure whoever's driving you has to be a little amused. But welcome whoever's driving Satet. We will go ahead and introduce your new character. We will go ahead and see if we have any connections we can make to the other characters. And then I don't know when I'm going to introduce you, but it won't be that much longer.
Yep, no worries. I will just keep listening in. So you want me to tell a little background, or are we just going to wing it?
Let's just wing it for now. Give me your name, your race.
I am Tuco, a half-elf bard.
All right. Brother to Satet, correct?
Correct.
All right. So
We went our separate ways.
So, brother to Satet. Grunthos, you're probably not going to have any connections with him. Horgold or Hollick? Have you met Tuco before? One of you, give me something.
He can decide that.
Does Tuco live in Orkland?
I think Tuco travels.
Yes,
He
yes.
is he's a bard, so he could have had trouble in Kirsch when I was a guard, maybe.
Hey, there you go. That's a good.
Close enough for our group.
Yeah, that's a good connection. That gets you knowledge of each other. I'd say, Tuco, you were wrongly accused of theft, and Hollick presented evidence in your favor that got you released from jail. Sound like a decent connection? He may have gone unhearing us. All right, we'll go with that for now. And if we want to,
I could have helped to get that evidence.
I was gonna say, you may have been the one who supplied the evidence. Perhaps you were the one who was the thief, and you're like, no, he can't have done it because this reason. Not that I concealed anything, but
it sounds a little bit like me. Yes.
Okay, we'll go with that. All right. And yeah, he looks like he is having connection issues. All right. So you guys board the ship. You guys like, I think you said there were some rotted bodies. There's some weird smell aboard, but nothing, like rotted bodies.
I'll show him down into the hold to the crate where we shoved everybody.
He opens the crate. He closes the crate. He's green. He's an orc. He's green. He's like, okay. We're gonna have to wait until the priest arrives. But I understand why you. I mean, I'm glad that you didn't just dump them over the side.
Even if there are criminals or if part of this mystery that is on the bad side, they even serve then a proper bury.
Right.
For now, we just need to investigate more. We got some leads, but we need a ship for that to investigate those leads.
Okay, that's fair. You hear from above decks. One of the two guards you guys had set going, "Halt! Who goes there?"
I run up and actually draw my sword just in case.
You run up to the deck just in time to see a rather short, thin orc woman climbing the deck. She is wearing a simple leather jerkin, a pair of leather pants, and she has the holy symbol of Basima around her neck. And she goes, "Yes. Oh God, names. Why is there always names? Why do all the NPCs have to have names? Come on."
Because we always have to get new people to help us in our quests.
All right. Name. I am Naomi. Noemi. Priestess of Basima. I was informed that there were murders to investigate, or there were killings to investigate.
Yeah, I sheath my sword and just say, "Yes, sorry, we're a bit on edge."
Oh no, I already named. Never mind. Can't be her. Got to be a different name, because I already used that one because it was the top of the list and I forgot to delete it. Alexandra. Carola. Copy.
Yeah.
New. V. All right. Back to the NPC list. Delete the name because I forgot to do that. All right. Yes. Naomi was one of the guards guarding the ship. I understand that. Because... No! All NPCs have to have different names.
As I said, I sheathed the sword, apologized for the circumstances, because the ongoing investigation, and we have to be careful. And I
She nods
show
at you.
her the way show the way down to the hold.
All right. She heads down to the hold.
And I joke on the way down. I joke with her. Hope you didn't eat much the last hour.
She shrugs at you. She heads down. It's like, and you show her where the bodies are. She opens up the crate. She doesn't seem to faze her. And she starts gently removing the bodies from the crate. The smell is powerful. And as she removes each body, she's like, examining them, feeling them. They're a little squishy, so she kind of she kind of treats them with more care, and she looks up at you guys. It's like sailcloth. I need something to put these bodies on.
Sailcloth?
Sailcloth?
You,
Let
in
me
fact, did
investigate.
not find any sailcloth.
Yeah. Yeah, there are shops on the docks that can sell us some.
She looks at you guys. It goes, how do you this is a ship. How do you not have any sailcloth? Okay.
We didn't need any until now.
Fair. Can you go get me some, please?
I'm gonna go out. I'm running up, getting sheets and covers from the beds.
She as you arrive back with sheets of cover, she's like, that'll also work. And she lays each body in a bed sheet. When she's done with it, she covers the face, or she covers it over. She's like, so let's get a healing roll for her. It's not great. She's like, so they died violently. It looks like there's no disease or anything. They died violently. And they all died a few weeks ago, maybe 2 to 4. Other than that, not a lot I can tell you. And she motions to the guy you found up on the quarter deck, in the back, the guy in the shirt. Just 2 to 4 weeks does not match the logbook. Fair. She's like, this person looks like they were violently like punched and hit about the head and shoulders. She's like, see these set of bruises on the cheek. You can see like the impression of knuckles in his face. She's like, when that hit landed, it broke the bone, the cheekbone and the jawbone, and drove the teeth into this man's tongue. He fought for a little longer, long enough that the bruise started forming. Maybe another 5 minutes before his head was essentially crushed. Head and neck. Looks like he didn't have hardly any bones above his. This is not you killed somebody by accident. This is you continued to beat them after they stopped fighting back. Injuries.
Let's see. Would magic influence be detectable after all this time?
She goes, perhaps. And she casts a spell. Those of you with Arcana, I mean, anybody who can guess, or anybody you can. Any of you can roll Arcana. You need a 15 to detect what she's doing. There you go. All right, we'll get back to that in a moment, Zerter. When she's done with each body, she casts a spell. 18 is good enough. She's casting Detect Magic, and she's kind of shaking her head. There's like too much in this place, in this ship. It has seeped into them. She kind of looks around and shades her eyes at the symbol on the ceiling. It's like, that symbol is powerful enough that I think if there was any magical influence that, like, if this person had been killed by magic, that would have been overwhelmed by that power, the powerful magic there. And then she mutters under her breath over each corpse, and the smell starts going down perceptibly. She has, she's like, and she kind of nods to herself and says, I've preserved the bodies for now. They won't decompose further. She looks at all of you. Do we need them for future investigation, or should they be buried? So she blunt force trauma to all of the people in the sailor's clothing, and the one person who was wearing the brass and green has multiple rapier wounds, with the terminal one being through his heart.
I look at the captain and, well, what do you think? Do we need to keep them separated, or can we bury them?
I think we can bury them. I don't know that there's anything else to learn from these bodies. They are not in a good state, and the priestess nods at him.
The priestess should testify if we have some sort of trial, if we find the perpetrators, that is, so we have it on file that they died violently.
She nods at you. Yes. One of my duties as a priest of Basima is to go to court in cases of murder or killings and testify to what I find. So kind of backing up a little bit, as she described the wounds, the person on the deck was beaten, like punched and kicked and something several times until he expired, and then was thoroughly beaten after death. Like bones pulverized. Are you guys? Yeah, you're that one. The three people, the three other sailors. I think there were three other sailors. I'm trying to remember what all we had. The three others.
One sailor on the quarterdeck, one guard at the front of the ship at the very top, and three sailors in the
right.
Common room.
The three sailors, looks like the injury that killed them was a single injury, basically blunt force trauma to the head and spine. She investigated the room that they were found in, and basically says that they were thrown bodily against the walls, and that was what killed them. They were alive when they hit, and they were not when they were alive until they hit. the one guard had been stabbed to death. All right, and she looks at the guard who goes out on top of the deck and speaks to the other two guards. And after a few minutes, several more priests, like people wearing very simple robes and clothing, come with litters and take the bodies away. She's like, if you don't need me for anything else, you know where I may be found. And she bows at all of you.
I'll bow back.
Me too.
In the middle of near the end of that is when I went off to check the fortification.
Yep. So the give me a investigate roll, please. 14. So you're looking around and everything looks to be in place, except one of the bronze nails. You're looking around. It looks fine. It looks fine. You as you're turning around to leave, you kind of hear a thunk at your foot. And you look down, and there is a bronze nail at basically at your foot. And you look up, and there is no place for it to have been. But you're certain you count the nails, and there's one nail missing from those that you used to hang this barricade up.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I drive the nail back in.
All right, it's easy enough to do.
I go find Horgold and Hollock and explain the nail thing, that the nail had dislodged, but there was no evidence of it ever being there.
That is strange.
Yes. I also think we should go find some sort of law person and claim the salvage on this ship.
The sergeant says, "Oh, you have a salvage claim on this vessel. Come right this way. That I've dealt with before." He kind of chuckles at you.
We think we should deal with a fail ring because it is active. I think it is active because I felt it calling to me in the night.
He kind of looks at you guys, Feyring, gives you a very sour look, and he's like, "We had to collapse a cave the last time I heard of one of those."
I think we cannot collapse a ship onto it. That would be unproductive.
he chuckles. All right, so tell you what, you and I, and he looks at all of you as you. Let's go deal with this whole salvage thing, and then why don't you take the ship not here for now? Or I guess you've paid your... I can't make you go away, but I'd appreciate it if we didn't have Borghild coming back through, or sorry, he wouldn't have said Borghild. He would have said, don't have an Iron Seeker coming back, an angry Iron Seeker coming back through your ship and tearing us all anew. Dark District?
You do not have to worry about that Iron Seeker.
Good. I'm glad.
That has been dealt with.
And I think they normally don't travel through the Fey realm. They are not welcome there.
Oh, well, okay. So, not gonna have a murderous creature coming out of the hold of your ship?
Well, that we cannot guarantee. There are strange things on the other side of such rings.
Well,
We can't guarantee it, but we'll be alerted if there does show anything up.
I tell you what, do you mind if I leave Naomi here to guard the door?
Please! Ew.
Oh, good. He as he's heading up, he says a small aside to Naomi. Her eyes go wide, and then she looks at probably Hollock and's like, "Okay, what do I need to do?"
I'll show you.
And run like hell and get others when strange things start to happen.
Okay, good
Okay,
to know. I'm okay with this plan.
I show her the door and just basically tell her if things start, if the door looks like it's going to burst open, run, get us.
Gotcha. She tips her helmet at you guys, and then you are led back to the guard house.
I cast. There's still a guard on the top of the ship, right?
Yep, it's the other one.
Okay, so I cast alarm where Naomi is. For us, the guard on top, and Naomi.
Okay. You have your alarm reset. And you guys, it's a pretty simple thing to do. You guys head all out to the guard shack. And he gets out a big sheaf of paperwork. All right. He's like, tell you what, fill this out and then bring it back and submit it to the harbor master. And he will determine, or there will be a determination of the validity of your salvage claim. And no more murders.
We're not planning on murdering anyone.
And we have not murdered anyone.
He's like, good. I'm glad
Except
you haven't
Iron
murdered
Stomach.
anyone.
You guys keep sending us to investigate, and we find the murders, and you think we did it?
Nope. Uh-oh. We're gonna lose Horgold for a minute. He's like, just that, murders didn't used to be common in town. Beatings, perhaps. Some sailors get rowdy. We've had more murders in the last 3 months in this town than I think we had in the previous year.
Well, we'll see how the salvage claim goes. You might be rid of us for a while.
He nods at you and chuckles a little bit. All right. Blame Grunthos. No, Grunthos was here beforehand. It's got to be Horgold's fault, especially since I think he's AFK, or he had to restart his computer.
I take the big piece of paper and see if is it something you could realistically fill out in, say, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Do you read Orc?
No.
Then no. It's written in Orc.
Uh,
And it's written in Orc, and it looks like a lot of like legal, like there's lots of long words here.
Orcish legalese.
Yep.
God.
All right, let's give it
Horgold?
a minute or 3 for Horgold to rejoin. Where are you going to do this at? Where, like, cannot imagine Orc speaking legal Orc. Oh, you should. The wigs are impressive. I think they have jewelry on their teeth as well when they're in court. Like their fangs.
That that gave me an image that would be hard to erase.
Uh-huh. There he goes. So how about speaking illegal orc? All right. Little wigs for the little wigs for the little white wigs, one on each fang. That would be amazing. Okay. Hollick, do you speak? Who here speaks Orcish?
I do.
All right. So you recognize this, or you recognize the words. It's a fairly involved document. It's like, okay, so when did you come across the vessel? What are the circumstances surrounding your possession of the vessel? Witnesses to you like finding the vessel. Basically, it's all written in such a way that you are arguing for the fact. Yay! Introduce this back. You are making the argument in this document that you did not pirate this vessel, that you came across it as legal salvage. There's a bunch of vessel was wrecked upon, was abandoned on, or let's see. Vessel was salvaged from being sunk. Vessel was salvaged from being abandoned upon a shore. Vessel was... you don't find in the list of things that, are legal salvage. Vessel was floating over the city with no live people on board. But there is one for...
Is this adrift?
Yeah, there is one for it being adrift. So vessel.
But I think we still should find an orc that speaks legal orc, so we do not make mistakes.
All right. Legal orcs. The ship does not suffer the living. Legal orcs would generally be in the upper part of town. Up here, because that's where people who get paid to do law stuff tend to need to be.
Can we risk to go there? What do you think? Grunters, Horgold.
I can run up and get hold of one, I hope. And get him to come down to the ship, maybe?
I feel better if we stay near the ship, or at least two of us stay near the ship. I don't know.
Are you on the ship as you're trying to fill this out, or thinking about filling this out?
I think we are still near or in the guard station, or did we move from there?
Nope, I didn't move anywhere.
So we are standing in the hallways.
Okay.
Discussing.
I'm basically offering to make the trek up to the upper level and getting a lawyer. And getting him to come down to the ship.
I think that's the best plan of action. What do you think, Holger?
Yep.
All right. You take off, Grunthos. You walking, you running, or you sprinting, or you puppying? You haven't told me where your puppy's at lately.
That's because my puppy is in the village.
All right. So you're not puppying.
Nope. But I am. It's not a dead sprint, but it's a fast-ish run.
Right. You take off at a fast-ish run, and you like run for a little bit, and then you realize, yeah, it feels good to stretch my legs. And you run a little bit harder, and you find yourself not breathing as hard as you normally do when you run, and you find yourself scurrying through town more rapidly than you thought you could. By the time you get to the elevator, you're not even winded, and you're not 100% sure why. All right. So everybody else, what you doing?
I'm trying to find a shop that could build me the GPC.
he's
if it's not too far away.
He's a bard lawyer. Anyway, you ask around. Nobody has one on hand, but a couple of the shore shopkeepers are like, well, yeah, we could get one made for you. What kind of vessel do you have? What do you know? Basically, they want to find you the right model, I guess you would say, of it. How long have you been plying the seas?
A couple of weeks.
Couple of
months.
Give me a deception check. All right. He gives you the shopkeeper kind of gives you a questioning eye. It's like, all right, half down, and we can get one made for you. It's
how long will it take?
A couple weeks.
Okay, that's no option. Sorry.
Oh, well, I could get one faster for you if you want to pay to rush it.
Depends how fast it is.
I'd have to talk to a wizard, but probably a couple days.
I'll come back on that if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Good. Thank you. If you need it, let me know.
Yeah. What kind of shop is this?
It looks like a store where you can find stuff. You walked into a store that looked like it was a place to buy things for sailboats. So,
okay.
Like on the left, as you walked in, were just barrels of salted meat. Straight ahead were things like ship's gaffs, and you saw piles of sailcloth and piles of ropes. Behind the counter, like behind the person who's standing there, were sextants and other measuring devices. That sort of thing.
Yeah, but those measure devices I'm not familiar with, I guess, so
Right.
no need to buy those. I do want to buy some rope. And how much provisions did the ship still had?
The ship had enough provisions for 2 months for 9 people. So
How much is it to buy? Let's see, we are with 4. So basically we got 4 months. Yeah, now we are good. I'm just going to buy some ropes.
all right, you buy them. They're pretty standard cost. Probably the heavy like ship rope would be probably twice as much as a standard 50-foot rope in the player's handbook. But it's like, much thicker, much stronger.
How much time do I think I have before Krontos gets back?
I probably won't be back until it's probably early afternoon right now. Early evening. Just because he has to go across town, find somebody, come back.
I'll go to see ships in the dock. How many ships are there?
There's probably 10 to 15 ships in the dock. Yeah, probably on the order of 15 ships in the dock, plus yours. And as you watch, like, you'll see a ship pull out every half hour or hour. And then probably not much longer than that. And well, probably you see, if you're paying a kind of a close attention, you probably see 2 or 3 ships pull out, but that's about it. And then as the day goes on, if you're watching, you see a ship sails over the horizon, and then the ship sails up and like pulls into port, and they keep people lash them down, and somebody hops overboard, talks to the harbor master.
Yeah, I think I'll go to the harbor master because he got maybe the information I need.
All right.
Yeah, I got in the 2 brass for it. I want to ask which ship is going to be docked here for a long time, except ours.
Ship here docked the longest.
It's going to be, from now, being the longest here on shore.
All right. He's like the foil. He kind of points over there. She is flagged, or this is her home port. And she will probably be here for the next month. It's shore leave and everything else. So yeah, no, she just arrived yesterday. She'll probably be here for a month or so.
Ah, nice. Do you know who the captain is and where the captain is?
As to who the captain is, it is Sigmund Helmut. Siegmund Helmut. And if I had to guess, he's in a bar. If you didn't find him in the first bar, look at the second bar. If you didn't find him in the second bar, look in the alley out back.
Do you got a description of him a little bit?
He describes a probably late middle-aged orc, salt and pepper hair, left fang broken off like at the lip line, kind of rough, scarred arms, jovial face, dark green skin.
Well, I'll go hit the nearest pub then, or nearest bar.
Yeah.
Thank you for the information again, Harbour Master.
He's like, you're welcome. I better put that description in here. All right. There we go. All right, you go to the nearest bar, and you see, and this is where we'll get Tuco in. You see an orc matching his description. It's okay. Is it okay, Satet, if I do a little bit of yeah, we'll go with this, and if it's wrong, let me know. In a drinking contest with a human who looks vaguely familiar.
Vaguely familiar, so I don't recognize him, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's not very many humans in town. But so you think you know all the humans in town. You don't recognize this one as one of being the ones that's in town, and you like have that itchy memory in the back of your head. It's like, I swear I know this person. How do I know this person? Why do I know this person? But just that vague itch in the back of your head. You don't really
know the face, but not the name.
Yes, half elf, not human. There's even fewer half elves. But yes, got the face, not the name.
I'll walk up to them. No, I'll order a beer first, or whatever they are drinking.
They have shots of some sort of fiery red, look like alcohol.
Shots.
Yeah, just like a line of shots, and then you see them each knock one back. He won't fail. Each knock one back. Yeah, the orc is kind of looking tipsy, and the half elf is not. Satet, you have been faking the drinks, or rather, you have been faking the fact that half of your drinks are water. Sorry, not Satet. Tuco. So you're currently winning. I cannot hear you. Is the light turning on?
Yeah, it's turning on, but no sound is coming through.
How about now?
Yes.
Now we have you. All right, Tuco. Half of your drinks are glamored water.
Well, of course.
And you are currently winning. You're getting in that buzzed kind of state, but you're not drunk. And the orc captain, ship captain before you, who was so sure that some Nambi half elf could never outdrink him, is like in that not quite sure of vertical, like which direction is vertical stage.
Did we have anything on the line for this drinking contest?
I'm thinking 10 brass.
Excellent. Can I reach over and like just push him to see if he falls over yet?
Let me do a constitution check. Oof. So you reach over and like as your hand approaches his chest, you just see him slowly tilting backwards. It's like there's never less than an inch between your hand and his chest, and he just thump onto the ground.
I laugh heartily. Yet another foe slain.
You're like he like stumbles to his chair. And it's not fair. How does somebody? Oh, okay. We're good. Drinks are on me. Good fight, foe. And he like reaches to slap you on the back. Do you let yourself be slapped?
I will, just out of jolly goodness.
The hand that slaps you on the back is like it's a powerful blow, like knocks you a couple steps forward, but like it knocks the wind out of you a little bit, but doesn't like it doesn't hurt you or anything. It just kind of knocks the wind out of you for a moment or two. And then he's like, and then he just throws some coins at the like a small bag of coins at the barkeep. He's like, drinks are on me.
Very nice, old chap. Good run. Maybe we'll challenge again another.
So Horgold, you're walking into this.
Yeah, I'm congratulating him. I call him by his name. Sigmund.
He
I've
kind
never
of
seen you this drunk.
he kind of blinks at you. Do I? You're a human, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I? Why are all the pink skins here today? Human. Okay. Not a half elf. What can I do for you? Charm person.
Charm. Yes. And I asked for him if we could have borrow his
Oh, God.
Ragnar? How did the captain call it?
Yeah,
Ragnar.
Ragnar. He's like, yeah?
Come on, Paul, for an old friend.
Oh, sure. He's like, yeah, you can borrow. Come on, I'll take you to the ship and I'll get it for you. He's kind of pulling himself up.
I'll support him the best I can.
He's leaning on you pretty heavily. Tuco, you have a pretty good memory for faces, and you recognize Horgold. From seeing him in Kirsch. You also know that he matches the description of the one of the people in the name of the group, Sonderling.
Hogold, you still owe me 10 brass from Kirsch.
Do I know you? You look familiar.
I look like everyone. I'm famous everywhere, I'm sure. You still owe me 10 brass. Hand it over.
From what?
Oh, the last drinking contest, just like him.
That was a celebration to get you out of jail, wasn't it?
Ah, you said you needed to run outside and use the outhouse, and you never came back.
Yeah, that happens from time to time.
I dug through that outhouse for half an hour looking for that brass, thinking you left it there for me, and it never found.
Well, I can make it up to you. I got maybe some way for you to make money.
You have no idea who I am, do you?
No.
Very well,
Perfect.
I'll forgive the 10 brass. Tell me what you got planned. What's going on? And have you seen my brother?
Your brother?
Satet! Oh, come on. He surely talked about me all the time.
Not that I know of.
Satet probably did mention his brother from time to time, but it's not like it was like an everyday conversation sort of thing.
Yeah, we weren't really super close, but I'd like to believe we were.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Does he mention the name Satet?
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, yeah, yeah. I know him. I'll introduce you to the rest of the party later on. Help me get this captain to get the item that we need, and then we'll inform you for the rest of the plan.
Sure. Where are we taking him?
Well, he's gonna get to the boat, his boat, to get me an item that we might need. I'm gonna lend me the item.
Oh, I see. I think it's my boat. We just won it in a drinking contest.
He's like, huh? No, brass. He tosses you 10 brass.
Oh, my mistake. We're good. Sure, I'll help you.
We need to hurry a bit though.
You guys get him outside, and you get him walking. The walk to he got brass again. The walk to his ship is kind of a longer walk down the pier. It's kind of at the end of the pier. It is close to the shore, however. So it's like his ship is the first slip in the or on the dock, but it's the very last pier from here. His ship is probably twice the size of the Bright Sail, and there's a couple of people, on deck. Probably one standing, from the looks of things, one standing watch, and one up in the sails, or up in the the crow's nest area. And as you guys get to the ship, he's like, Valerie, give me a dex save. Dex save, please, both of you. Probably with advantage, since you probably have both seen this coming at this point. Ooh, Tuco. Actually, a 10's good enough. You manage to, between the two of you, no worries. Between the two of you, you manage to direct him over the edge of the pier rather than onto your shoes, and you hear, and he just empties his stomach into the water. It's lovely sounding.
Oh, that smells terrible.
Yeah, Valerie.
Is she sweet?
And the person Kiwi watch looks down and he goes, "What?" She is a female orc, probably half his age, probably in her mid-20s maybe. She's like, "What?" He looks up at her. "Hey, then, fresh Fred water, wreck. I gotta get it for him." She looks down at you and she looks at him. She looks at both of you. It's like, come on up.
I'm going to give my best charming grin.
Give me charisma, guys. Okay. She seems a bit enamored with you, Tuko, and Horgold. She's just kind of giving you the side eye as you guys get the Sigmund up on the ship. She's like, "So I'm not even gonna ask how you found him, but why does he want to give you the Reckoner?"
Oh, we need to borrow it for just maximum a month, maybe a little bit more. But we are going to compensate that with a how do you say that in English? A bulk payment that we can get back if you bring that back the device on time.
A deposit?
Yes, deposit.
She's like, "Fine, he won't let me not do it when he's in this state. So come on back." She leads you. The area underneath the stairs here is obviously the captain's cabin. It's a lot less organized than the Elven ship was. There's no like fancy table. It's got just full of charts and maps and piles of books, and there's just a stack of log books sitting next to one of the shelves. And she hands you the device. She gets the device and hands it over, and it's like, "Don't think you can steal this from us."
Well, that's why I do the down payment on it. What do you want to have for it?
She kind of shrugs and says, 100 brass.
How about 100 brass and a beautiful song?
I mean, I'd just take the 100 brass, but sure, give me the song too.
That was terrible negotiating on my part, by the way.
She kind of gives you a look like I'm putting up with my captain right now. Otherwise I would like to spend more time with you.
How much does it even make to make such a device? Do I know that from the other shop?
The other shop, it was gonna be 1,000 brass to have one made, and it was gonna be like 3 weeks before you got it. And at double the price, maybe a few days.
No, I'm gonna keep on to that.
Huh?
Why not? No, I'm giving her a bag instead with a quarter of pounds of pellets, iron pellets.
She kind of looks at it and looks at you. It's like, this is way more than 100 brass worth.
I know, but in case we get missing or something happens to the device, I hope you can replace it soon. We don't want to get in trouble.
She looks at her captain, and she looks at you, and she smiles at you, and it's like, all right, if you need any help actually using it, because you guys, I mean, I'm sorry, but you guys are lubbers. You just come find me. I'll show you how to use it. But right now, I gotta get a bucket before. And then she deftly grabs a bucket from, you're not exactly sure where, and slides it across the floor. And about that time, Sigmund leans over his bed and half fills the bucket with vomit. And the smell is impressive. And the sound is also. What did he, I don't even want to know. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Just don't eat the shrimp scampi at the bar he was at.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he didn't look like he had any shrimp. It looks like all just liquor? Yeah, liquor to me. But yeah, okay. And she kind of heads you out and lets her captain be in his misery. All right. Let's actually go to Hollock. What have you been doing in this time?
Sitting on deck.
All right. It's a lovely afternoon. Sea breeze is calm. You watch the ships come in and go out, as they do. Seabirds wheel overhead, all that sort of thing. All right, we'll rotate around to Grunthos. Grunthos, you think you've made it up to the top in about half as much time as you expected. By the time you get up there, and you ask around a little bit, and you're directed to a you're directed to a lawyer's office. And it's got a nautical, it's got an anchor and a ship's gaff crossed across the front.
Bingo.
I gotta get rid of some names. All right. You open the door and are
rather quickly. Not the polite-ish way of just opening the door slowly. Not flying open, but the way I'm opening the door telegraphs a sense of urgency.
And the half-orc who's sitting at the desk inside the room is like, "Hello, how may I..." She looks down at you because she's looking straight in, and then she looks down at you. "All right, little man, what do you need?"
I need a lawyer. I need it fast. I need the lawyer to accompany me to a ship at the docks. How much for an afternoon's worth of rush work?
An afternoon's worth of rush work. So my usual rate is 15 brass an hour. And if you need me right now, it's add an extra 5 brass to that. It will cost you the time it takes us to get down to the docks in fees. What's going on? I'll give you a couple free minutes.
My group and I have salvaged the ship, and we want to make sure we get a claim on it.
All right, and I'm assuming by the fact that you have a rush that somebody else already has or somebody else is making a claim to it as well.
Yes, my my group isn't that well versed in legalese, especially Orcish legalese.
She smiles at you. She is a half orc. Probably middle late age. Like kind of the smoother skin, but definitely catch the crow's feet around the eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she, all right, let's walk and talk. You're paying for my time now.
I drop 120 brass at her.
6 hours. That'll be. She's like, she nods. Yep, that sounds about right.
And I'm walking and I'm explaining and saying we've got the document we need at the ship, and I'm trying to get her to walk as fast as she's comfortable doing for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah, so she's definitely not moving as fast as you are, but she is walking, and she has a notepad. She has a notepad like in one hand, and she's got a carbon pencil in the other, and she's taking notes. Give me an intelligence roll, please, to see how well you've described to her the situation.
Nope.
So she arrives at the boat. It's probably early evening. Hollick, you're up on deck. Horgold and Tuco, you see Grunthos arriving back, and he's here faster than you expected. Trailing him is a older-ish half-orc lady. She has a very confused look on her face and a notepad in her hand.
Why, hello, pretty lady. What brings you aboard?
By the way, Horgold, did you take down or it was the spell only on the lower deck?
Yeah, only on the lower deck.
Okay.
And only no sound, only notion to me.
Okay. She's like, I'm being paid to help make sure the ship stays in the hands of those who salvage her.
I'm going to give a very peculiar look to Horgold because I have no idea what's going on.
Well, we try to claim the ship at this point, but we need it for an investigation as well, which probably earn you some coin.
Okay.
So, Horgold and Hollick, I'll have you guys both roll intelligence, and with the three of you all together, go ahead and give it to me with advantage. I want to see how well you guys have described the situation to her in, like, she's asking pointed questions to try to get all of the information out of you. All right, Horgold got a really good roll. Good enough, and after a while of talking to you, she gives Grunthos a look and's like, and like rips off the top page that she had been writing on when she was walking up here, and she balls it up, and she throws it over the side of the ship. She's like, "All right, give me the document to fill out. I think I have it." It's much less confusing now. She fills out the document, and she says, after a while, she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go turn this in with the harbor master." And she kind of looks at the sky. You've got me for about an hour from what your little friend paid. Anything else you guys want to assist us with, or I can give
Yeah, I don't know. Do we need a lawyer for something else?
Not that I know.
All right. Grunthos, she actually tosses you 20 brass back. And she's like, if you need me to defend in court, let me know. The retainer will be my normal 100 brass plus 15 per hour. And yeah, it's not often I get to argue for non-orcs, so it's just going to be kind of fun. Just let me know. You know where to find me.
Will do. Yes, I do.
She smiles at you all and heads back on to shore.
How late is it now?
It's probably evening, supper time-ish. Sun hasn't gone down yet, but it's wintertime, so it's getting real low.
First thing first, when I'm back now, I want to go check again.
First things first, who is the friend you brought, Howard?
It's the brother of the Ted.
I will flourish in battle.
I did not know that Ted had a brother.
I gasp in surprise. It's fake.
I think that mentioned brother once or twice, but
Not to me. I think he didn't trust me. Somehow, I don't know why.
Yeah, so now that we know each other, where's Satet?
In a temple somewhere.
I just raised my eyebrow.
in a temple far to the north, like frozen wastes.
So he finally got sent to prison?
No. He volunteered to stay guard an artifact.
Oh yeah, goody two shoes Satet. That sounds about right.
I'm sorry. I love it's your former character. That you Okay. All right. Grunthos. you head down into the hold. And you find Natalie? Naomi. You find Naomi leaned with her back against the wall next to the door. She looks up as you come in and bows, or kind of shakes her head. It's like, it's been quiet.
I inspect the barricade.
Investigate, please. You find no differences in what you had last time. Okay,
Well,
your intelligence is not great. Give me an intelligence roll, please. Nope, that's perfect. just, yep, absolutely. All right. You find nothing out of place.
Yep. So
after a while, Naomi's like, I gotta go home. You guys are back. I'll let you watch your ship.
yeah.
Have a good evening. She had come up on deck to say this.
Good evening and thanks for your service.
Happy to help. It's been a pleasure. Not often I get to hang around so many non-orcs. Besides, the scaly one is cute. She kind of winks at Grunthos.
I just wink back.
She heads off. Heads off the gangplank. Down. The other guard had left probably a few hours before this. Since you guys are here, doing his other guardly duties.
So what's the plan?
Yeah, hold on. Would someone like to explain to me what's going on? Take that as a no.
I just met you.
We're investigating a murder that happened in the city or above the city.
Or near the above the city or something.
Yeah, so I hope you have like a month free time or more, because it might take a
Well, I traveled down here looking for my brother, but obviously he's not here anymore. So yeah, might as well. My schedule's free.
We might meet him again, because I think we're gonna head up north, if I read the logbook correctly.
I hope so, because he still owes me 10 brass.
Everybody owes you 10 brass, doesn't it?
There it is.
Maybe. So what's the plan then?
Should we pull up the gangplank for the night?
Or you just maybe even leave. We got supplies. I got some extra rope if we need it. Maybe you want to get some extra tools to repair stuff?
Is it wise to leave while the investigations are still running with the guards and the claiming process?
Oh, we told the guards that we needed the ship for investigation. Because we're not done yet. We don't know the cause. And the only reason to investigate that is to use the ship.
I forgot to get more tools. We'd have to do that in the morning. Should we just sleep on the ship and just pull up the gangplank so it's not that easy to bother us?
I don't want to make a decision for you guys, but you could pull up the ship, not just the gangplank.
Do any of you know how to sail this thing?
Yeah,
Cortus knows.
I got it into dock.
Well, I could put a glyph out here to ward and help protect the ship if you needed.
Ooh. I need to look that one up.
If we pull it up, we should tie it down so that it doesn't drift into other things while we sleep. And we should post a guard.
Yeah, guard duties are necessary.
We need to keep an eye out on the barricade and the hold.
All right.
What's
Problem is
going on with the barricade in the hold?
there is, let's call it a breach behind the bar door where evil could come out. I'm not sure if, but it is there.
Oh, maybe I better put my glyph down there then to help protect for that.
Maybe.
Is one guard enough to watch the door and the deck? If someone tries to climb up
I
our
shout off the edge of the ship. Cast off!
You get a bunch of confused looks from the people like on other ships, and after a few minutes, somebody yells back, "You do that yourself!"
Have you seen the size of me?
Yeah. I will help you with this, Gruntus. I'll cast Mage Hand to get rid of the rope.
All right. You're with your mage hand and the help of Grunthos, you guys untie yourself from the dock. Are you going straight up? Or are you going somewhere specific? By the way, Tuco, it's very unsettling when this thing. Are you leaving the surface of the water?
I'm
Or are you
taking it out as a boat. So
Okay.
at first, the only unsettling thing is it moving without a sail.
Right. So Tuco, this seems to you a little odd that they haven't put up their sails, but you're not a sailor, to my knowledge. So it's not like super odd. Boat makes
I only cuss like one.
About 400 feet out, I yank the elevation lever.
All right. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please. Everybody who's on the top deck. All right, bunch of good rolls. You guys all maintain your footing as the ship lurches and rises, like climbs rapidly. Grunthos, you think you yanked a bit hard, and this thing is going up a little more quickly than you had expected.
I'm gonna run to the front and throw out my arms and yell, "I'm the king of the world!"
I'm going to gain about 600-700 feet of elevation and try to get over here.
All right. You fly your ship over there ish. It takes you a little bit because you're still not 100% sure on the controls, and they were still big.
Can't reach everything.
You still can't quite reach everything. But you have some plans for how to make them.
Oh yeah,
cobalt sized.
I was thinking that in between sessions. I'm going to fix that.
You managed to get the thing over to where you want it. You park it. You think you are able to like put it so that it stays in place. So you're able to pull some levers, and you think short a fairly strong wind, this should stay basically where it's at right now. All right.
Given that repairing the levers and setting everything to neutral actually stopped the ship drifting last time, that was what I was hoping for.
Yep. All right. What does everybody put where? As far as there's a glyph of warding, there's I'm assuming an alarm spell. I'm assuming there's going to be watches.
Watches. I don't have spells anymore today.
Oh well.
I am going to put down a cordon of arrows at the door in the hold.
Okay. Cordon of arrows. If he's not magical item. First time I turn. Ooh. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to the bright sail. Move the players there. Whoop. So you're putting that on the like lower deck.
The portal was in 12.
Yep.
So my arrows are poised right around there.
Okay. All right. Tuco, you said you were going to cast Glyph of Warding?
Yeah, where would you gentlemen like me to help you?
You can follow me and I'll show you.
Yeah, you can designate any creatures you choose, and it ignores those creatures. Yeah. Glyph of Warding. Ooh, its duration is until dispelled. Interesting.
So you guys pick, and I will do it. It doesn't have to be destructive. I can tie it to like another thing, like hypnotic pattern, where if someone steps in it, they'll just be mesmerized until we catch them.
Some sort of confusion or holding thing or something would probably be best.
Yeah, we want information.
Okay, so I will tie it because I have hypnotic pattern. So I
Okay.
will tie it to hypnotic pattern.
Absolutely. That works. You can have it so that your friends know how to not trigger the glyph. I'm assuming you tell them how to do that.
Yep.
And you're putting that on the door where the glyph is on. What is the trigger condition?
You guys know the ship. Where would make the most sense that you would direct me to put it?
Maybe put that on the stairs up, because I'm sort of metagaming because I see hypnotic pattern ends on damage, and my arrows are already in the floor.
Knowing you guys could have talked, and you could put the arrows. You could have done the arrows somewhere else instead.
Yeah, you know what your spells do. That's
Yeah.
not metagaming.
Yeah, don't know. So
Yeah, but I don't know what hypnotic pattern does as Gruntos.
No, but you can talk.
You guys could have
Yeah.
discussed that. So
I'll put my arrows here. I'm guessing you can't necessarily see the door from there. No, I'll put mine here, upstairs,
put it.
if
Okay.
they get up. Mine are upstairs if they get up. His would be at the door.
So
Probably.
probably if they open the door, or maybe in front of the door if they step on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
would be
That's
the most.
entirely up to you. Up to you, Satet. Is so with Glyph of Warding, you just need to know where it's at, and then the trigger condition. So, where it's at would be valid for like on the door or on the floor, and then trigger conditions could be either opening the door or stepping on the glyph or being within 5 feet of the glyph or.
I'm gonna put it on the door,
Okay.
and anything opening the door will trigger it.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and set an allowance for us 4
Okay.
to get through it if we need to.
All right. Glyph of Warning is permanent. It's got a little bit of expense, but it's permanent. So that glyph will stay there until it is either dispelled by dispel magic or triggered. All right, and then the arrows were put on the main cargo hold, on the like area going down.
Yeah.
All right. And then you guys are keeping watch, right?
Yes.
All right.
I'll take first.
So.
And yet, yes, I'm locking down the controls.
All right. So, first watch passes without incident. Grunthos, you have a nice calm evening. Nothing much going on. You watch as the city kind of calms down for its evening. You think from this height you can see your village from here, but you're not quite sure that you can actually see your village from here. But lights in the distance. Maybe your village, maybe closer someplace. You're not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But with the controls locked down. This thing is really stable. There's a nice calm. It's a land breeze at this point, blowing over from the land to the sea. And your watch passes. Who's taking second watch?
I'll do.
All right, Horgold. You get on watch. It is now dark. I'm assuming you guys don't have lights. Or do you?
I sent Goldie up in the mast,
Right.
and I will be in the captain's quarters with what do I have for light? A hooded lantern, studying the GPC.
Ah, okay. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check, please. 14.
I'll use my inspiration for that.
Okay.
So with advantage.
So with advantage, you get it as a 19. Yeah, you're figuring the the reckoner out. And what you're getting from the captain's log matches pretty closely. Like, you've got a couple of, there's actual charts here in the captain's quarters that are like overland maps. You're able to like plot the path of this ship and how long it took to go places using the thing. And yeah, the story you're getting, the story you're building in your mind matches very, very closely to the elven captain's story. And you are pretty sure you know how to use the Reckoner future state. So you can use it basically without a roll at this point. And give me your birdie's perception, please.
Oh, darn, haven't done that in a long time. I bookmarked it. Perception is wisdom.
Yep.
+2.
An 11. Okay. All right. What is your bird's armor class?
13.
All right. How many hit points does your bird have?
2.
You feel the snap of connection to your bird. Just kind of because you're working on something, and all of a sudden you feel you know that connection that you have to it, and you just feel snap, and the connection is broken, and we'll end there.
Goldie.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be picking this up again next weekend. I hope to see you guys here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye.